Okay, welcome everyone to the Mobile Trader Network. This is the Mobile Trader Mastermind Group for Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm JD, the Mobile Trader, coming to you guys. Hope all is well. Um, let's get started. I wanted to first touch base. I want to thank everyone for joining tonight. Let me just make sure chat. Everybody's in here. Have 26 people. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. Well, the first thing I want to talk about. Thank you guys for joining, first off. And I want to just pay attention. I'm keeping an eye on the futures right now. We're down 96 on the Dow, down 7 on the S&P. Now, the NASDAQ uh, is almost decoupling from the rest of the market, uh, from the broader market. So it, normally the NASDAQ runs neck and neck with the Dow, but the NASDAQ's up right now. So one thing I want to talk to us about today is manifestation. And one of my favorite books of all time is The Richest Man in Babylon. And there was basically a segment in or a section in there called The Five Laws of Gold. I'm going to pull that up on the screen and right here. And I'll just read through it quickly if you have any questions. But the five laws of gold: gold cometh gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. So we need to put aside. Sometimes it's hard, but if especially during this time frame. But when things are going well, the best move is to put 1/10 or 10% of our earnings aside. I've also seen some money managers mention even if it's 5%, but our younger I guess our younger generation, our younger crew, they can handle 10%. If they're just starting out, they have some help. Um, Number two, gold laboreth diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. Just have keen investments, guys. We just have to make the right decisions, right choices. Number three, gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invested under the advice of men wise in his handling. This is big. We don't go to the bricklayer to find out about fine jewels. We don't go to the jewelry maker to find out about how to, level a church, lay the cornerstone of the foundation. So there, we need to know, we need to seek counsel of wise money managers. So a lot of opinionated columns that we follow or that breed fear. That's we need to avoid that and just continue. Now, this is from an investing standpoint, long-term standpoint. We need to go where the money is, the smartest people in the room, and we can find those. And there are a lot of publications. CNBC gets a kind of a bad rap, but when I'm on there, when I watch CNBC, I write down the names of different money managers, and I at one point in time I was frustrated with CNBC because they weren't having a diverse menu of I guess leaders in the money markets. And so now they're starting to mix it up. And I've been actually writing down the African American money managers or CEOs of big funds that I've come across, like Courtney Gibson of Loop Capital, Shelley Willingham of I forget, like she's like Douglas Fund or something like that. Catherine Faddis, Faddis of Grace Capital, Degas Wright, Degas Wright, Wright of Decatur Capital, Eugene Profit, Gerald Lofton, Paul Trussell. I like to see diversity, and it felt good to see just a different look on the screen than 75, 80-year-old Caucasian males who were running basically who were the gatekeepers. Now we have a chance to step in, and our children have a chance to kind of we're tilling the soil right now and sowing the seeds, and they're going to reap it, and they're going to continue with it. So that's one of my hopes and prayers and wishes. Okay, number four, Gold slippeth away from the man who invested in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. Just like I said, I mean, the, look, Jason Ford. Yeah, Jason Ford is more. He's a on air personality, which is great because I mean, same with Bertha Coombs and what's the other young lady's name that I'll get her name shortly, but I like seeing that. I was hoping that I would always tweet CNBC. Now, guys, we can't just take the advice of any person that just pops up on Facebook and says, "Hop in this stock. This is the next hot stock. This is the next hot stock." Or if someone can promise you 360% return on your investment, uh, if you put in X amount of dollars and you'll get that. There's no guarantees. There's it would be too easy if someone can. And why would they guarantee us a return on investment? Why do they need us? So that's my thing. So here we go. Number 5, gold flees the man who forces it to impossible earnings. I just mentioned that, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires and investment. Lottery plays. The lottery. That's a low probability game. I mean, it's fun sometimes. You pull off a few tickets here and there, and grandma might hit. And but for long, and I'm sorry if this rubs folks the wrong way. I think the true meaning of a susu has been diluted. So I don't hear folks talking about the susus that much right now. They were hyping those up, man. It's susu adjacent. Well, yeah, if you have the right, really tight, closely knit group, but that's really a business contract. I need to know what you're going to invest that money in, and where it's going to come back. I can't just say, here, let me get this to you next month. You get it back to me next month. I get all the money. Who knows? Get I'm putting If I have a little cash. Now, this also happens to be when you come over from another country, or when you're over here and we could not have access to capital. It there is there was a need and is a need in certain parts of it, but the way I was looking at it on um, Facebook, it was like people were guaranteed 3,500 coming back you can guarantee me some money. There's a guarantee of a doggone a, a a rug being pulled out from under you. Don't guarantee me crap. Let me get this. I'm gonna go get that money. I'm gonna pull it out the market. The market is an ATM. It might not be the overnight ATM that everybody's looking for, but over the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, there are vehicles where we can step in and make something happen. And also, our children are going to see us, you know, eh, okay, when we have discussions at the dinner table, we might whatever we're talking about, whether it's school, practice, homework, those are lasting discussions. Those are things that become commonplace. Those are the vernacular, because it's like learning a new language. And the more you want to, we want financial fluency. Let's talk about the markets. Let's talk about the Nasdaq, the Dow, the S&P, the fact that Tesla is going to be uh, included in the S&P 500 on December 21st. Let's talk about how big of a move that is with our children, whether we buy into Tesla or not. The fact that this thing is run up from 100 and what was the low on $181 on June 15th, the week of June 15th, to right at 600 bucks. And I was in that sucker, man, trading it, flipping it. And if I had just bought a long dated contract, there's a lot of time frame. There's a lot of, when you get into the market, there's a lot of unknown. So, and as naturally, we want to try to dampen that unknown because we don't want to lose money. But we have to put things at risk and we have to measure our risk reward. One of the things I wanted to talk about for everyone is investment time horizon. We need to establish, that's the first thing that needs to be on the agenda, is establishing an investment time horizon. And the reason being is that it will protect us from, um, it's going to protect us from emotional outbursts or emotional reactions, because when you see the little red lines on this chart here, that's that's emotions. A chart, basically a stock chart, or a technical analysis, is basically managing emotions. We're watching the emotions of the masses, whether it's mass hysteria, mass euphoria. It's currently, we're in a euphoric state right now in Tesla. It's gone parabolic. That's the weekly. And when you're in euphoria, and Bitcoin has done the same thing. So what we try not to do is become emotional during euphoria. And what happens during euphoria is, like, there's a run up stage or a markup stage where the price just continues to run up, and then people chase it. And when they chase it, they buy at the top. And as it pulls back, let me fix my chart. I'm getting a little bit of a lag on my chart. But when it pulls back, there's going to be, there's something called, I mean, it's like you get shaken out of a certain of a play when you think you have a move. So, like right now, if we were to try to hop into Tesla tomorrow, it's overbought. I mean, and now there's a chance that thing is still going to run, but there's also the probability of a pullback into the 570s, 560s right now, 550s, give or take, and it'll actually present another entry, because here's one of the things I was kind of leading into what I wanted to talk about. A lot of the funds, a lot of the big funds that have that benchmark funds, or whether it's a mutual fund, or just basically the anything that deals with the S&P, that mimics S&P, they will have to purchase shares of Tesla. They'll have to have equal weight within their fund when Tesla goes onto the S&P. So people are scrambling to get shares, and it's been a serious markup. So I'm expecting a pullback. Um, if you guys are looking to try to play the Tesla play, it's a high risk, potentially high reward, but also potentially a big loss type of play if you're just now getting in it. But there's also a secondary play, ARKK. I've mentioned this a few times. I know Robin's a big fan of ARKK. I'm a huge fan of these guys. Tesla and ARKK are running a lockstep with their charts, but it's 1/5 of the price, and the volatility is not as much. But ARKK is an innovation fund, a disruptive innovator. Kathy Wood is the CEO, but they are weighted with 11% of that fund. Is 11% is Tesla. It's the highest weighted or highest allocated amount of Tesla in any fund right now. It's not, they're not supposed to go above 10 per their bylaws or whatever, but the last time I checked, they were like at 11.08. So the idea is, um, if Tesla pops, ARK pops. If Tesla pulls back, ARK pulls back, but it's not going to be as vicious. It's not going to be a vicious move. So if you're looking at ARK, ARK is set up for a move right now. It's also overbought, but if Tesla pops, the entry for ARK right now for me, it's already run up 2 days. There's a little space for another run up. The entry above 111.83. That's last week's high, or last Friday's high. If it gets above that, now if it gaps up in the morning above that, it's probably going to pull back to that area, to the previous close. But if it gaps down and breaks above that 180, what is it again? 111.83, it's a good chance to get you a good run. You try to do it like right around 11 a.m. Central. Once you let the trend occur, and you have to set a stop. So the option I would look at. This is for me. This is not a buy, sell, or hold recommendation. Not investment advice. These are plays that I'm doing, that I've done, and that I'm continually analyzing. You have to do your own due diligence, please. But if you're looking for the short term, it's 19 days to expiration, to December 18th. Now, guys, look, everybody likes to go out of the money. Don't do it. If you're gonna go right here, don't try out of the money. If you don't have $400, $500, don't just put something in there. But well, uh, don't do it. That's borderline. That 115 call is very borderline. I prefer the best one that looks the best right now is the December 18th 110, and it's still been like that. Don't go out of the money because you start seeing 20 cents, 25 cents. That's a recipe for disaster if you don't understand options. So I'm giving you caution. I'm recording it too. I'm looking at the January 15th is one of the better ones that I like, but ARK really isn't hot with the options right now. But I think that play is going to start picking up a little bit. I look for a certain level of open interest, and the best ones right now is going to be that December in the money 110 call. That's the only one right now for me on ARK. But that's the play that I was watching. Other than I'm currently in Tesla. Uh, I want us to also look at this, the Chinese stocks. If you're into any companies that like Baba, JD.com, any of the Chinese EVs, be very cautious. I don't know if the Chinese EVs are going to fall under it, but there's going to be legislation that possibly delists any company for failing to provide audits. Is coming under additional scrutiny because they want to make sure. Well, the U.S. Pretty sure it's the current administration want to make sure that they prove that they're not being controlled by Beijing. So be cautious with like now. Baba was moving, Baba was setting up, but there's some uncertainty, and if Baba falls below 275.67, that's going to be it's a good chance to run down a little bit, man. Run down, to the 272. So if it breaks above the 278.92, it's the the one area that you want to get above. If you go on Baba, you want to get it above 280. It's a buy above 280. It's a tradable stock above 280, but you have to watch the news, and it's like it would be a day trade right here. Let's see. And they just put the news up. Let me put it on the screen, guys. And hopefully you can see it. Yeah, they're talking about House vote on booting Chinese stocks from U.S. over audit rules. Second update, lawmakers next week are likely to force Chinese companies with shares traded on American exchanges to finally comply with audit oversight rules, blah, blah, blah. Be careful. And they just talked about Alibaba. Consider a measure on Wednesday that would force Chinese firms such as Alibaba either to make the transition to getting an annual audit. That, yeah, man, they're not going. They're going to deal with just. There's going to be some tension. So watch out for the Chinese ADRs or any stock that's traded on the U.S. exchange with China. Be careful. That's kind of a red flag, guys. And the Tesla play is going to be big this week. Another one I want us to look at, and then I'll get into something else. The watch list. I'm watching Nikola. I'm in Nikola right now. Nikola Motors. Tomorrow, the lockup period ends for. Let me get this going. Share the screen. Lockup period ends for the former CEO, Trevor Milton. He can unload all of his shares if he wants to. And it broke down last week. I've been waiting for it to break down for a good minute. And if it continues below 27.11, I'm currently in puts. Let's see what a good put would be. lot of people don't buy puts, and I feel that, in my opinion, puts are an underutilized weapon, because when the market goes down, people scream, holler, "Oh man, it was a red day. I didn't know what to do." Throw a put on that thing, man. It's it's not that easy, but if you have a good feel for the market and you know how to, if you can buy a call, you can buy a put. It's as simple as that. And if Nikola tumbles tomorrow, I'm in the $30 puts. But if it tumbles, even this 25 is not crazy. And now it needs to fall below at 27 handle. Needs to get below 27. And then there's one little area right here where buyers were waiting. The low of that was 26.68. So if you get below 26.50, you can start looking for the 25s, 24, for a push, and check the news. If it falls below that 26.50, there's going to be some news that pops on Nikola. Let me write that down. But that's another thing, guys. Here's the play that I really wanted also to talk about. The forward play. I've been posting it. I sent it out on the email list, guys. Ford has some really good options available right now, and I'm in some longer dated options, but I want people to be careful. I mentioned in the email that I sent out that it's coming up to a legit double top, guys, and a level of resistance it's made a serious run since Rona. I don't know why Kevin Hart was calling it the vid. I don't know if y'all saw that Netflix. I didn't laugh at Kevin that week. I was a little frustrated, but anyway, my wife said I was hating, but Kevin's my boy, man. Okay, back to stocks. Had a nice run up, nice pullback, really nice accumulation with Ford. People were getting shares and broke through resistance. And if you look right here, last time we had a double top, a sell off, ran back up another double top, which could constitute a triple top, and it kind of hung in this little area. So we're gonna see what happens when yeah, the stand up was garbage. Thank you, Erica. And it was terrible. Okay, when we run up here, guys, let's say we get up to 974. The one call that we're looking at that I've mentioned to everyone was a $10 call. The $10. I'm doing the January 2022s, but let's go right here to the trade bar and forward. And I'm going to give you the reason why I want you to be careful going without buying time. I want you to get in the habit of buying enough time. Everything is bullish. We're looking at the put to call ratio. Calls 83,770 to 16,000 puts. Everybody in America is forward tough right now. That doesn't mean it's going to go up, but it means it's heavily. The sentiment is bullish. Uh, and yeah, Mo Parks, time is an ally, man. Guys, if don't hop into the weekly options on Ford right now, and don't hop into the front month. Front month means it expires in December. The front month, even the January 21st, January 15, 2021, that's 47 days of expiration. Let's say we hop in that $10 call. That doesn't fit the criteria for me. The one that fits the criteria, the $10 call, everybody's gonna hop in because it's $25. If you start, if you let that lead you or guide you, the cost of the option, you're gonna get bit 10. But it sounds better when you say get bit. But it's 439,000 people in this thing now. So I mean, it quite possibly could run to 10. But I feel that we're gonna run to that double top. That thing's gonna pull back to like 8 or even 750. And when the next thing I want to show you is what is called the ATR. If you're getting into options and you don't know what the ATR is, you're in trouble. Well, you're not in trouble, man. You can get lucky, but you need to know how far a stock moves. It's called the average trading range or average true range. And Ford goes 29 cents a day. Now let's compare that to Tesla. Ford's going to run 29 cents a day. Tesla runs $24.84 a day. So by the time you blink, Tesla can move $8, $9. By the time the end of the day comes, Ford might move a quarter. So if you get an out of the money, so we're not at $10 yet. We're like in the low nines. It could take a couple of days to get up near where you want to be in the money. But if there is any type of pullback or setback, it's an uphill battle, and it might not happen by January. Now, it quite possibly could, but I think this run is coming to a little bit of an extension. Um, if you're buying shares for the long term, buy shares for the long term. You make that decision on your own, whether it's because of their electric vehicle. But if we're going options, remember options can expire worthless. So we don't want this thing to pull back. I want it to run. It could run, but I really feel that we are coming up against some near term resistance right below 10. And that's why I really feel that the options, the market makers, everybody has priced everything right there. That $10, I mean, it made it very, very attractive for people to hop in, but the probability is kind of low. We'll do what you want, but the one I like, go ahead and go out to February, go out to March, go out to, I mean, because I got the January, what is it, January 21, 2022s. It's only 100, it was $130. I have 418 days for Ford to reach the $10 handle. I mean, it doesn't even really have to get to $10. So if it falls back to 7 or 8, I have time for that thing to build up and make a push. So just consider you buying time, or you just buy the shares and let the ebb and flow of it happen. So if you want to buy shares and you want to get into a stock market from an investing standpoint, the time horizon must be established. When do you need the money? When will you expect to get a return on your investment? If you need it by Christmas, the stock market is not the place. Crypto is not the place. If you need it by Christmas, the mattress is the place. The bank is the place for that money, or because the market there's a randomness in there, but there's also a cyclical rhythm, and also support and resistance. Price has memory. Last time it reached up to a certain level, what did it do? Things like that. So be prepared for that. So we're buying extra time, and I want to give you. I'm sure most of y'all know about this website, but I get go to a lot of my. If I have questions, I want to know about terms or terminology. Investopedia.com. I'm putting it in the chat bar. Investopedia, and let's go over a few of the on the watch list, guys. Of course, Tesla, Ford, ARKK, Nikola short, and then I want you guys to throw a few in the chat bar. I have time for a handful. Aurora Cannabis. I've been keeping an eye on that. I'm in it in my Roth IRA. I've been watching this thing for a while. It's ready. It's it's a buy. Um, we're coming up to another level of resistance. 1078 is going to be resistance. Really, the entry is above 1059, but the thing is, you hop in there and it might hit that resistance level and bounce back. So let it go above 1075, 1076 to see if there's some momentum going. If you're going to try to do an option. Now, if you're looking to buy it long term, again, investment time horizon. And if this is for a 5-year play, you 420 days out from now, y'all might have some money. I think everybody caught that one. But let's see. This is crazy. I dogged this stock out for so long. Genius. Remember I mentioned Euphoria? This is when Euphoria comes into play. Everybody finds out about Genius. They start hopping in chat rooms, Facebook groups. Hey, girl, getting Genius. Then the Deaconess's usher board starts talking about Genius. You know you're in trouble. And then by this time, pastor might mention Genius in the sermon. It's time to pull the chute. And that's when, everybody was buying at this level. And they were saying it was going to, and it ran up to 12. But the people who got out were the ones who were in over here, like at a penny or 20 cents. So right now, if we look, Genius is finding a little bit of life. Let me put the, I'm not saying that this is not a buy, sell, or hold recommendation, but it was just kind of crazy that I spotted this and I had been dogging it for like a good period of time. No offense if you got in there and lost money or made money. I'm sure somebody made some money, but the volume isn't really well, shit, yeah. It's not huge volume, but Genius is trying to creep back into contention. If it goes above like a 160, $1.60, it might be time for a move. So just I don't have I have no idea what they're doing. I think they had some institutional support really when I was looking that up. So we'll see. All right, let's go in the chat. All right, I'll do one. We'll do one for each. Okay, Ricky, I'm gonna go IDEX. So I know Fuel Cell was hitting IDEX, and all right, I tell you what I'm gonna do. What is this? What is it for? Let's see, Ricky. Hey, Ricky. If you can unmute, let me know. Is this a long-term buy and hold? Because
Yeah, it would be long-term electric vehicle.
okay. I know it's in that same sector. Well, just based off the charts, man, this is gonna have to be on your research alone because the chart is telling me we're going back down to like 179 to fill this gap. It might be another time to buy. You might be able to accumulate shares as it goes over a certain period of time because it's overbought. The run up has happened. Let it settle back down. It might go into a little bit of a trading range, and like what it built right here across here is a base where price really didn't just it like over here we had spikes, spike and channel ebbs and flows. This was just like a little bit of share accumulation. Now we had a lot of volume come into it last November 20th. So then you had selling pressure. So it's overbought, people taking profit. Uh, It's not tradable to me, but if you like it for what it is for that sector, because that sector has a chance to really be big, continue with the research, and it's gonna have to be your conviction is gonna have to be the winner on that one, man. I wish I had more on it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Go back in here. I'm sorry. Okay, we got for Ronisha GameStop. I think that's GameStop. Let's see. Yep, GameStop has made a straight up resurgence. Um, and I'll ask you in 1 second. Want to see if that's going to be a long term play. I know you said you've been in and out of it. It's it's coming up to resistance, but the crazy thing about this, this might be tradable. because of Santa Claus rally going into December. I saw people lining up outside of GameStop a day early in my neighborhood. I know in GameStop is trying to come back. So um, let's see if I can get Ro. Hey, is this a long term play for you, or are you looking to trade it?
Definitely looking to trade it. I feel like it's probably gonna go back down,
Mm-hmm.
after all the hype from, the new PlayStation and the Xbox.
Right. Okay. It's coming right up to to that double top, and look for. Let's see right here. Don't buy puts before you see a break. We need to see um, because it could go up a little bit more if the entry would be for a put would be below 1450 really, or 1488, but I still see some buying will be right in here, but like below 1450, let it. I had 1464 marked as a previous level of like contention. So if it falls below 1450, that will give you some confirmation. Let's see if we could let me write that down. I got this recorded. I checked myself. Uh, Let me do it real quick. And the puts, I mean, the weekly, if you're going to do a weekly or a monthly, let's see what the weeklies look like. Mm, let's see what the monthly. Okay, there, yeah, it's kind of hot too. Yeah, okay, let's see one thing. Yeah, they're trying to, okay, that monthly, anywhere from the $16 put, 16.50 and $17 put, December 18th are ones that could be worth, fall into in line for what you would be looking to do, and you would just let's say you bought the $16 put and paid $300 for it. You would set your stop and decide what you want to risk. Like you say I'm going to risk $70 out of that 300. You could establish that and leave it, and it could protect you from where you're not going to lose your entire investment, and then you set your target profit goal where where you're looking to get. So I hope that helps a little bit, but that's a good idea. Just don't get ahead of price. Let it show that it is going to pull back because it has some momentum going right now, and we could have that trend line. Yeah, the trend line break is going to be probably at 1450. So just wait for that, and if it doesn't give it to you, just kind of just move on to the next one. So I hope that helped. Okay, let's see. Okay, Colin, we got pins. He's looking for a long-term leap. PINS. Hey guys, if I don't get to everybody or if you have to leave, I'm gonna put my email in the chat mobile. And just hit me up, email me, and I'll add you to the email list, and I try to get to it, man. I try, but the primary thing is gonna be trading. So, I'll open the trading room tomorrow morning. Uh, Shoot, it might be. I might have an audio book going like at 6:30 a.m. Central or something like that. I might do Lovecraft Country or something. So we'll see. But I'll open the room up and we can get going. And so y'all are more than welcome to come on in. Okay, Colin, you said long term leap. Yeah, man, everybody is all over Pinterest. I have, and the chart, the daily looks good. We're coming up on the end of the month, so the monthly support and wow, yeah. Okay, let's look at a leap. That's a powerful move. 'Cause, 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 ' Let me get you in here real quick. And guys, please don't just trade options. Trading options is just the way I trade them and the way Mo Jackson and I trade them in our course in class. Really, we're just trading stocks, but using options to do it. So we analyze the stock first. That's the key. Um, don't just hop in something and buy the out of the money call, and because you're gonna rationalize why you bought it. Oh, it should make it there. I got this, and I don't know, 8 times out of 10, man, those far out of the money calls on the low movers, they expire worthless, or you're going to hit once and think you have a program. If you don't have a trading plan in place, a replicable process, it's beginner's luck. And I said it is beginner's luck, and it'll come back and get you, man, because the market will take its tuition. It'll take it every chance it gets. So, okay, enough of the preaching on that. So, Colin, man, you said you want to leap, looking at January 2022. Let's see, I think I hit you, man. I should be able to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one are you
I was
looking
just
at?
curious. Go to 23.
Oh, January 23?
Yeah, go
Okay.
with that.
And guys, when you buy time, folks are in, it's not heavy yet, but it's coming. I mean, that 60,
Actually,
and then you come out a little bit, that 90, but that's, and the deltas are strong. They are believing in this. Let me go in a little bit shorter, just to
going
see.
to,
Let me see
yeah.
what the January 15th looks like. I 29,000. It's a little pricey, but the one right below it, the $70 January 15th $70 call, because right below it, 585, $585. You go a little bit, $75 call is 395, and then as you move up, like 75, 70, 65, that's like $400 profit right there from each tick up. So um, that's 47 days. Let's see real quick. Because I think some other, I mean, I know people have been watching Pinterest, and it's extended on the weekly. It's very overbought. But that's one of the best. I mean, the move, the entry was a reversal, guys, right here. Here, this one, we're catching the move at the. This is going to be a pullback. Um, you need to buy time. Good idea on the leap, Kylan. Um, but this week now, there is a window. If it breaks above $70.11, the previous high, now it needs to happen probably after 12 noon. You want to see if that thing is not a head fake and a pullback. After 12 noon, 1 o'clock, or whatever, Central, if it's above that previous high, 70.11, that's a go. That's go time. You would make it a day trade. You need to check earnings to see when if it's worth it. But I know you know how to pick the option, man. This is a good one. Just be prepared for that to absorb that pullback. And if you want to buy more once it finds support, that might be a way to add. Um, I like that chart. Let's go. Let me get another one in here for y'all. Okay. Okay, Jamelin, you're looking at Merck eBay Baidu. We're gonna go with Merck right now. I'm currently in Merck. Uh, not milk, but I'm in Merck. Um, Hill Merck. Merck has kind of just been in a like a coil. It's coiling up right now. It's a very tight price action. Not much This is wide price action, wide moves. This is a wide move. This is a tight channel where not a lot of price expansion. This is very tight price expansion right now. Very, very tight. Um, the goal is above like 82.11. 80. Let's see. What's the high? Yeah. Above 80, about 82.11 is what I've been looking at. If you get above that, and now see, this is a technical play, but it's also vaccine news. It's COVID, so the risk is risky. So let me see, Jamelin. Well, for time constraints, you want to look at a further out option with Merck, and just because the anything can happen with COVID, anything can go down with the vaccine. But if you're in it, I'm in it January 15th. I'm 47 days out. I still, I'd lie. I should have actually gotten a little bit more time, but it's a 39,000 folks in it. My Delta has fallen, but you know, I, by time, it's not going to be pretty. You know, maybe April. See what the April. There's nothing just super pretty about this thing. The April 30, the $85 call isn't great, but I wouldn't go any lower than that. I wouldn't go any further out than that. You know, 85, and preferably, if you have it, you go up further in here. Um, let's see what June does. There's more action in June. It's going to be a little pricier, but you're going to have a little bit more support for an $80 call, 82.50, and the best one out of that bunch is the $75 call right there, June 18. Those are good ones. Yeah, yeah. One more. I'm gonna give you one more. Let's see the January 20th. And people are going out to January a little bit too. 82.50, 80. Okay. All right. So if you get in Merck, anybody getting into the biotechs, you got to get time. You have to buy time. Don't risk just trying to do anything short term. Um, okay, almost ready. RSI at 70 cents. I don't, can't look at that. INSG. And Sego. I don't know what they do. It's not tradable yet for me. It just that there's not. If you're looking to buy long term, I'm not quite sure what they do, Erica. Let's see. But it's not just Erica, can you unmute and tell me about this one?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I was looking for some put action in with this
Okay.
one.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The safest play is gonna be below this level. Like the confirmation is gonna be below 827. You can risk it below there's room to go in below 891. There's room to go in below that and test. It's like a heat check because me, I don't know this stock, but I mean, the younger me, I'm getting in below this candle here and I'm trying to go in and find support. So what we want to go below that doji for the first one, below the 891. And then You can add to your position if it falls below 827 and it's off to the races. Down to, you might get $1 out of that, even more. So let's see what the INSG. And people are thinking they're a little bullish on it, but go in the front month, puts, yeah. That's a good one. That $10 put, don't risk out of the money. Don't even try it. It's not worth, it's like, 10 cent. 10 cent. And it's probably gonna hit too, the 10 cent. But if it falls below those levels that I mentioned, your $10 puts will pay you well. That's worth it, and you don't really need to go much higher in the deltas in here. So that $10 one is a good one. And yeah, let it fall. Those are two levels that are worth. And this, let me check something real quick. Okay, Treasury wine drops after China imposes new tariffs, and I'm gonna see what the so gold is down 5. So maybe the market is trying to push up, but I'm looking at the futures, and I'm trying to get the futures because if you get a red day, okay, down 115. If you get a red day, you got to look for. There's certain times you got to look. You have to look for stocks on the downside. You don't have to, but if you're trying to trade, it's tough to go against the market. Um, if the overall market is bearish, now the Nasdaq was doing a reversal on that. So just be prepared for certain times. It's time to learn how to trade on the opposite side because there's two sides to the trade. Bearish and bullish. So let me go, Ricky. I think I got Ricky. I'm gonna go Zynga, and then I'll come back to EV. Let's go ZNGA. Z. And Zynga, man, we put Zynga in our stock report months ago, and it peaked, and it just really hasn't really hadn't just done much, but it's coiling up right now. The price contraction, and it's range bound. So what we're gonna look at. When you're in a trading range, you try not, you need it to break out from the trading range. And you cannot, it's really tough to just hop in when it gets to the top of the trading range because you need to have, it needs to show proof that it's going to break out. So right now, I wouldn't, oh man, I wouldn't trade Zynga because if it taps this top of this trading range right here, like the 841, it's been selling off. So you want it to get higher than what's the high? 845. It's been selling off. It's stopping at 845. And the high right here, 863. You have a lot of overhead supply. If it's a long-term buy and hold, that's cool. And it's coming off the bottom of the RSI, so it's worth, if you want to accumulate it. But I need to let this thing clear 860. I almost wouldn't trade it till it gets back up over like 950, 960. It's really not a tradable stock. It's not one to just get in there and trade. So yeah, I'm not a fan of trading it. If you're I like what they bring to the table for long-term possibilities. Let's go. We're gonna go to Coop. Well, Tony, APXT. I got a couple more in me. If you guys are, bruh, ooh, I gotta get you off mute for this one. Let me see, T. That's a tough chart, man. You gotta have some insider trading info to trade this one, man. I don't. I mean, just that's a joke. But okay, Tony, you can unmute if tell me what your thoughts are on this one. Okay. Well, look, this thing is coming back down. It's gonna come back down to me. It's gonna come back to his family. And that's an evening star doji, but there's really no price action. So, and it's overbought. I mean, you never know because it actually, what is this thing? It's probably going to try to run up a little bit. I don't know if this is a SPAC, and it looks like it's a SPAC. So SPACs might defy all pieces of technical analysis, but this gap down here, that's gonna be filled at some point, and it might be when the SPAC guys when they merge and they take profit. So I don't know. That's not a tradable thing. I don't. You just have to. If you're gonna buy it and hold it, trust your instincts. I have no history with this. I don't know. And it's very risky to me. But yes, it's back. Microsoft's okay. It's a cloud SharePoint. Yeah, I couldn't hear you, man. But no problem. Well, you just have to live with it and deal with the ebbs and flows. I'm sure you're ready for it. But I see a pullback, regardless of the SPAC and the Microsoft, because the run-ups happen a crazy gap, but the gap it can gap and go and then come back to reality. And it looks like it's already trading above where it closed last week. So it's at 15.14 in the pre-market. I don't know how we're getting pre-market ticks right now. But yeah, man, don't trade it. But if you want to buy and hold and you like it, go, do your thing with that. All right, let's see. Let's go Sia. Let's go Etsy. Looking for a good leap. Yeah, you've been on Etsy for a minute. Yeah. And Etsy still has room to run on the daily. It broke above resistance. That double top. It's already good grief, Charlie Brown. Look at that, man. I've been charting Etsy since I was gonna buy baby girl those shoes on the website. This is a run. And it's continuing right now. It was up 15 last week. The high was 160.63. It's already broken above that. So it's a runner, and you can catch a runner. You don't have to shy away from it. Let's see. If I were to trade this, you want the leap. That January 21st, 2021. Oh boy, and the prices look so good. That's what you were talking about. Hey y'all, see, it just dropped one in here. That's a winner. Yeah, she played it too. But yes, look at Etsy, and thanks Sia for this one. Etsy, the January. Let me write this down. January 21st, 2022. There's some good action all the way down to the even the $15 one is worth consideration because Etsy could pull back, but with me, I don't really go out of the money that much unless it's a mover, and Etsy moves. But the one I like the best is a $10 call, $300. Now, by the time it might be 450 tomorrow, so you might be hopping on the 1250. But this January, this is a good play. Good call, Sia. Thank you very much. Excellent chart. It's not overextended. Let's check the month real quick. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I know it's late, man. It's Sunday. Oh, that looks good. It's overbought on the month. but it's not crazy. I mean, we have some time down here. You have some support, 118. Once I said $10 call, I was looking at the wrong thing. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Let me go to Etsy. It was like $10 call. Okay, here we go. Let me see what these prices look like for real. Cancel what I was saying. I was all hyped, man. I'm sorry. That's more like it. Yeah, that's why they cost. That's why it's moving like that. Let's go in a little closer. I'm sorry. Let's see it. Give her her word on that. Yeah, you've been trading it and you're looking for the leap on it.
Yeah, I traded and I'm looking for the leap on it. I did a weekly on Friday, but
Okay.
want to do
Uh,
something long term now.
Everybody's in the chat telling me to change the stock. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. If that leap, that four, going out 400 days. Let's see what the 200, the June looks like. Yeah. The 160 is solid. It's right below my parameters, but it's right in the hunt, but that's a 200 days out, so it can increase. Let me see the March. Okay, this is where the action is right now. The March, 110 days away. $150s through the 170. So 170, 165, 160. Anything that fits your criteria in the price range, but this one, the 170 is a good one. It's solid, but you go closer to in the money, of course, you're going to have higher probability. So it, the leap was very pricey. I mean, it's up to you on that. Let's
I
see.
think I'll stay with the March, the 171 from March. That looks good.
Okay, because that 170 March, yeah, that's a solid, and it's giving you 110 days. Set your parameters of like, hey, I'm willing to risk this. I'm willing to lose this amount. The routine, and then pull the shoot if it gets there. But if not, you know, uh, you hold strong.
No, thank you.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, look, that's gonna be. Let me make sure. I think I'm a wrap with that, guys. Here's what I'm gonna also do. Keep an eye on that phone forward, guys. Let me take one look at ARK for you again. ARKQ is another ARK one that was trading in a similar fashion as Tesla and ARKK. It's the same fund, well, same fund family. Um, this one is more autonomous technology. It won't move as quickly, but if you can't afford that Tesla play and you can't afford the ARKK play, ARKQ is a possibility, guys. Let me just check, see if anything is going. And I'm gonna show you one last thing. I build baskets of stocks the goal is to try to find stocks that are and fit a criteria that you like. So recently, everybody, you guys have a list of stocks that you like, that things that you buy, companies that you are familiar with. Electric vehicles are popping right now. I'm building an electric vehicle basket. I'll take some off. I'll add to it. Like Solo was one that I made a play on when it ran up to like 13, and it pulled back. So when you see a parabolic move on the chart, when I say parabolic, it's going straight up 90 degrees. Remember that we have to come back down to gravity. Gravity pulls us back down. It might not go all the way back down, but it will pull back at least 50%, give or take, and hopefully find some support. Um, be careful with Solo. There was a negative report out on that. So Plug Power is getting some love again. Brian Dillard been on that for probably a couple of years. Yeah, Dilla put that out like early 2020. Plug is overextended as well. It'll come back. It might come back to earth and find a little support. Or this thing, guys. Okay, here's the last thing for the night. I use the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is one of my key lower studies. I want to see the money flow. You know, whether it's the MACD, the stochastics, but I like the RSI, and I use it in a certain fashion. So begin to add your type of. You're going to build your charts to fit your I don't know, your demeanor, your personality. So that RSI fits me. When I see things that are overbought, which is above 70, and oversold below 30, it kind of gives me caution. Uh, it doesn't mean that it's going to change, but it's an alert system for me. So, well, guys, I'm gonna shut it down. I will be back every Sunday. If y'all are welcome to come on in, hang out. I have a Telegram group, but it's full right now. I'm trying to keep it at a certain level. Uh, I just want it to be, it can get out of control. I just don't want it to be like a Facebook group, but I put my email in the thing in the chat. You guys can email me at any point in time, and I'll add you to the email list to where I can keep you in the loop. Um, if you're looking for an options class, but if you we're trying to keep it to 5 students. It's almost full right now. Email me and just let me know if you're interested or whatever, and I'll send you the link to that. But it's a 3-day course, and the idea is to get you gonna get your money back in the market from your tuition. Your tuition that our job is to teach you to trade. You're not gonna learn to trade in 3 days, but you're gonna learn how to go out on your own and stand alone. And then you have to fend for yourself at some point in time. We're going to try to give you those tools to do that. So just email me if you have questions, but I'll put you on the list, and I'll be in here probably tomorrow morning, probably like 6:30 Central, and I'll have music and a book going, and then we're ready to get in the market, man. Y'all be safe, and thank y'all for coming.